Okay, do you remember the other day in our writing, we thought of a way that we could say what characters said. What did we do? What did we do in our writing when we wanted to show what characters said? There's something we did that we've never done before. Kate? Speech bubbles. We did speech bubbles. That's right. So in here, we said, tornado warning, take cover. That's what I said in my speech bubble for my story. And then we also had this one with Ashley and I, and she said, I don't want to be your friend anymore. Now that's one way to show what a character said. Today I'm going to show you another way to show what a character said. It's called dialogue. Okay, dialogue. So this is in the actual story where you write. And a lot of you have been doing this in your story, but you don't know how to really write it, and that's with quotation marks. We put a quotation marks around what the person said, so the reader knows what the person said and not what you're saying. So Ashley and I always play together at recess, but one day when we got outside, Ashley went to play with some other kids. I went to Ashley and asked her to come play. So I could say, I went to Ashley and said, what could I say? I want to say the actual words that I said. What did you think I said? Gracie? Or I said I asked her to come play, so how could I say that? Yeah, I went to Ashley and said, can you come play with me? Now you see I put quotation marks. These are called quotation marks. 2 little marks right there at the beginning of what I said and 2 marks after what I said. And then it says she told me that she didn't want to be my friend anymore. Instead of saying that, I could say she said I don't want to be your friend anymore. You see the quotation mark? So I can see exactly what she said in her exact words. And it's the same thing right here. I don't want to be your friend anymore. I don't want to be your friend anymore. She said is what I'm telling you in the story. So we're going to practice putting things in quotation marks. So I want you to get out your whiteboards and your whiteboard markers. All right, here's my speech bubble. It's a boy, and he's saying, I want to go to the park. Now, how would I write this in my story? What would I start saying? What would I say first? Would I just say, I want to go to the park? No, I got to tell the reader who said it. What would I say, Xavier? So I would start, he, capital H, just like we said in a story. He said... And then I'm going to put what he said in quotation marks. So here's my beginning, my quotation. See how they're kind of leaning? I want to go to the, I know you can't see it, park. And look, it's got an exclamation point on it. So I'll put that. And then I put my quotation marks at the end. So that's how you show it. Yes, Gracie. You still don't have it, so you can have a piece of paper. Here you go. Okay, you can go away and get everyone. He said, I want to go to the park. Nope. Okay, now look at this one. It's a girl. So you want to say he said. You're going to say she said. I went to the beach yesterday. I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see it better since I'm not writing it. She said, I went to the beach yesterday. So write that and put your quotations around the words that she said. You won't put them around she said. You'll put your first one before I and then after yesterday. So go ahead and write it with your quotation marks around the words that she said. She said with the capital S. Then put the quotation mark, and then I went to the beach yesterday, period, and then the next quotation mark. Check and make sure you put your quotation marks in the right place. In the right place. Okay, erase. One more. All right, last one. It's a boy. I like going to the zoo. He said, I like going to the zoo. Okay, check yours. Don't erase yet, though. Check yours. He said, I like going to the zoo. So H is capitalized. Then you put the quotations before the word I, and after the period, you put it. Now, there's something else I haven't shown you yet. That's why I said don't erase. I didn't want to show you this because I wanted you to learn where to put the exclamation or the quotation marks first. But before you say what they said, you're supposed to put a comma. So put a comma there. Before the first quotation marks. He said, comma, quotation marks, I like going to the zoo, period, quotation marks. So after you say he said, you'd put a comma. Or she said, comma. Or Grant said, comma. Or Lily said, comma. Or my mom said, comma. Before you say what they said, you have to put a comma. Okay. So, we have now learned, okay, let's erase and put our whiteboards away first, about dialogues. We now learned 2 ways to tell what characters said. You can tell exactly what characters said with a speech bubble in your picture or dialogue in your story. So dialogue tells exactly what a character says out loud. So here's my picture with my speech bubble. Let's go build a sandcastle. Now in my writing, I can't just say let's go build a sandcastle because then the reader doesn't know who said it. In the picture, I know who said it, right? Because the speech bubble is pointing to the person. But if I do it in my writing, the reader doesn't know. So I have to tell them before I do it. So Chris said, see the comma? Let's go build a sandcastle. And the quotation marks are around the words that would be in a speech bubble. Just around the words. So I'm going to get my story out. Just had it. What did I do with it? Here it is. So look. I said, tornado warning, take cover. All of a sudden the weatherman said, oops, I need something after that. What do I need? Comma. And I don't need 2 quotation marks like this. Just a quotation mark. Tornado warning, take cover. And then quotation mark. I forgot my period there too. Let's see. I'm going to find another place. I know there was another place that I could. Oh, my dad said, I think we got hit by a tornado. So I need a comma, exclamation. I think we got hit by a tornado, quotation mark. Oh, wait. No, I lied. Our electricity out. I'm going to check. He said all that. I think we got hit by a tornado. Our electricity out. I'm going to check. Then that's where he stopped talking. So where he started talking and where he stopped talking is where I put the quotation marks. If I was to draw a picture of my dad telling me that, it would have a speech bubble that says all this. I think we got hit by a tornado. Our electricity's out. I'm going to check. It wouldn't say my dad said because the speech bubble would be pointing to my dad. But in the story, I have to say my dad said or the reader wouldn't know who I was talking about. Wouldn't know who's talking. Okay, so today and every day in your writing, you're going to use speech bubbles or you can do one of them or both of them. You're going to use dialogue with quotation marks, just like we practiced. So you're going to go in your writing and see if there's a part where you could say what someone said and use quotation marks. So I want you to get out your writing, and I want you to see if there's anything where you could put some dialogue.